Well, what's up, guys? We're back. It's day 2 of the 2013 MLG Spring Championship StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm tournament. We just saw a crafty little match there between Polt and Suppy. Next up, we got QXC versus Deer. The awesome StarCraft 2 action is never ending here on an MLG weekend.
That's right. Of course, we're in winners round 4 right now. That means there are 16 players left in a winners bracket. Well, 15 after we just saw, of course, Suppy get knocked out and Polt advancing to the top 8. But here we're going to find one more player to join the top 8 in winners bracket. One more player is going to drop down. Deer has looked fantastic so far. He hasn't dropped the map, and he's played both the STC and, of course, from KT Rolster stats.
Definitely going to be a test for the American, the complexity player QXC. Let's see what happens as we jump into this best of 3. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I was waiting for the crickets. You never know when you do something like
Not
that.
Here. Not here in Anaheim, man.
Dude, these guys
Never
are
in
awesome.
Anaheim.
These guys are awesome. Of course, game 1 is going to be on Belshir Vestige. Both these players should be very, very familiar with this map as we get into the game. In the bottom right-hand location, I present your red Protoss player from Team STX. Has not dropped a map yet in this tournament. He is Deer. Of course, there's his Twitter, EHDWNS1232. Be sure to follow him. His opponent in the top left-hand location, attempting to be the American hero of this tournament. Your blue Terra player from Team Complexity, he is QXC.
QXC already pulled, I think, what many people consider a very nice upset against Grubby earlier in the tournament, taking down that victory. Of course, Grubby, big fan favorite from the Netherlands, one of the top players from Europe. And QXC took him down, so he's definitely got a lot of TVP tricks up his sleeve. Then he went on to beat Tilia, who of course took out Hendra. That's one of the best collegiate players in the United States. So QXC's been on a reign of terror lately, but of course so has Deer with those victories over the STC and of course Stats. And
don't forget he took out Nathanius as well.
Yes, he did. He did. He took him out. Nathanius said he felt a little overwhelmed. I was talking to him playing against a Kespa. Protoss, of course.
I couldn't imagine, man.
Those guys are just, they're on another level, man, these Kespa guys. But QXC, of course, insanely good as well. And he said he had some QXC tactics ready for this match.
All right. We'll see what that involves. Of course, PBT generally on this map opens up with how fast can the Protoss get there? Whoa, what is that pylon doing down there?
That's a very interesting pylon. So it's obviously not the proxy closer to his opponent. It's the proxy to hide a building. Now, it could be a Twilight. I mean, the only thing you would hide here is Twilight Council, right? That's the only thing that makes sense. Because obviously, if you're going to proxy a Stargate, you'd put it closer to your opponent. And same thing with the Robo. So it's either just getting an early pylon to scout, but the fact that a probe's staying there.
He's getting ready to build something. You can tell, man.
It definitely looks like it's going to be most likely a Twilight Council. Now, what's interesting is QXC is actually going for a one-base build as well. There's no command center, going straight to factory after barracks. And if Deer goes for a DT tech, if QXC goes for one base, it means he's going to be harassing. He's going to have a much higher probability to scout out that Deer's expansion is later.
Let's see what happens. Now, there is the Twilight Council, so this is almost certainly Dark Templar. This is all going to depend on when QXC can find this out. Now, it's important to note he hasn't sent anything to scout across the map, so he's not able to potentially identify if his opponent's main base is lacking an additional pylon. If he had an SV scouting right now, he would notice there's a pylon missing. It's a very ominous fact, and also noticing the 2 gases that are being mined. So QXC electing not to scout, will this end up hurting him in the long run?
Well, you know, the good news is he's going straight for a Widow Mine drop, and Deer going for DTs. He's going to have no detection available. Those Widow Mines are going to get into base. Ideally, QXC is also going to notice a lack of a natural. In fact, it's not going to be TDs. It's actually Blink play, which is probably better for Deer. Trying to go one-base DT versus a Widow Mine drop is almost never going to work.
Sure.
As long as QXC can recognize DTs and raise that wall. Even so, it's all down to detection. Of course, QXC hasn't even left his base yet.
No.
And if his medevac gets caught in the middle of the map with Stalkers in play, that could be big trouble for QXC. On the other hand, if you can identify this build and switch into adding in tanks, getting in a bunker to defend, he's going to be in great shape. Ooh.
Wow. Now, obviously, the Stalker being killed is sad for Deer, but he's able to identify exactly what route his opponent is going. The Widow Mine, the factory, might be able to get us a star put as well.
And look at that immediate response adding to Robo.
Yep.
Knowing the factory's that fast, there could be Widow Mines out. Well, he knows there's at least one Widow Mine, but there could be Widow Mine drop. There could be Widow Mines to defend his one-base Blink Stalker build. And while 1 or 2 Widow Mines you can deal with, if your opponent gets more than that, you're definitely going to want those observers.
Will that Hellion go to the 3rd and see the tech? No, not for now. Of course, there's no reason to know that anything is down there. So QXC heading with the medevac on the right-hand side of the map.
Proxy Pylons going up on the left-hand side of the map. Of course, Deer can't really move out until he gets that blink, until he gets that warp pick complete, warps in a few units. But the medevac is going to hit first. Probe does not get to the natural to identify the command center.
No observer yet. Remember, still no detection here from the Protoss player. What needs to get to the ground? He's going to try to desperately burrow, and he's going to get there. One probe saying, all right, I'll take this for the team, guys. And he's going to sacrifice himself for the greater good. An observer on the way. Blink almost finishes well.
But QXC has identified there's no expansion from his opponent. That's going to give away the fact that it's some type of one-base play. And of all the one-base Protoss builds, Blink Stalkers is by far the most. Well, now he sees 4 Stalkers. He knows exactly what's going on.
He also has a tech lab, just now finishing on the factory. So I feel like we're about to see a tank in production. Both an overcharge, trying to get rid of this drop. He's just going to pick up and back away. The Widow Mine is still there, but now going to be detected. Is this shot going to go off? No, not in time. But again, more importantly, QXC has a tank on the way. He knows exactly what is happening. If he can take little damage from this, he's going to be a very happy Terran player indeed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if he can't hold his natural, he has 2 orbitals ready. He can double drop mules. Look at that, building a bunker in a great position to help defend his very important production. Defending this build is all about waiting to build up enough units, because in small numbers, Blink Stalkers can micro against almost anything. As the numbers scale up, it gets much more difficult to do so.
Deer does have the idea to put a natural expansion down behind this. Medevac returns to the main base. Widow might get a great shot off on the Stalkers, and Deer's going to back away. A tank is now out on the field, and QXC dealing with that without too much trouble at all. And Deer looks like he's looking to transition here.
I mean, he has to.
Yeah,
the fact that QXC had to tech out so fast, he's got the tank out, there's Widow Mines on the field, his Marine count hasn't been touched yet, and there's this many Marines. There's no way he can put the Stalkers in to snipe the tank, just too much damage output. So Deer's going to be happy to just contain his opponent, say, you know what, you're a little bit ahead of me economically, but that's okay. I still have map control, still mobility. This is still a game I can try to make a comeback in.
QXC can identify that little blur. That would make him a very happy person indeed, but as of right now, not able to. Now, right now, he needs to identify, okay, how aggressive is my opponent being with this? Is he waiting outside my main base with 14, 16 Stalkers? So QXC playing very careful, scanning somewhere. I'm about to find out. Okay. Oh, he got rid of the observer. Nice.
Nice.
It's a really good pickoff.
That is a very, very important pickoff. Each of those observers is so important to the Protoss, because when they're only on one base, they only have 2 assimilators. They really want to get their sentry count up. They want to try to tech either Colossi or Storm or Archons. They want to get upgrades. Blink Stalkers, of course. There's so much expenditures of gas. At 75 gas per observer is a pretty big deal at this point in the game.
All right, the Stalkers backing up, and again, if your Stalkers are across the map, it's going to be much more difficult to deal with those drops from your opponent. So Deer, recognizing that the medevacs are out, is going to back up.
Is he going to find a Dark Shrine?
He might.
And if he can take that out, that's
he
sees it!
He sees the Dark Shrine. That is huge for QXC. He's going to go straight into his opponent's natural expansion, going to go right for that mineral line, going to drop a Widow Mine and these Marines.
Oh, the probes are stacked. Oh, but they evacuate just in time. Widow Mine will take out 1 probe on gas. Marines are being a little bit annoying.
Every probe we can get is phenomenal. If you can get the Mothership Corps, even though it's just going to pick up, go straight into the main base, dropping some more Marines, but the Stalker's going to for a great blink there from Deer, taking down the medevac. Widow Mine, is it still at the natural there?
It is.
Okay.
It uses charge to just kill 1 probe, and
Okay.
it's probably going to be taken out shortly after.
Okay. So where does QXC go from here?
He saw the Dark Shrine. He's building a turret,
Okay.
but if the DTs can spread out and get past his area, he's got to not let them into main. There goes
there's
the scan. 1 goes down. He raises the wall.
the depot.
And the scan range just perfectly hits that range. Wow. Can take out both with 1 scan.
QXC playing this. If he can get the observer too. Okay. I was going to be like, oh, the Viking is like, I saw you.
I think he saw the observer.
Yeah, I know. He's going to stare at you. Goodbye, observer.
Poor little guy.
Wow. Okay. Whew. All right. Got to breathe a little bit.
This has been an intense game. QXC's taken several wins in a row as far as every single build. Slide advantage over slide advantage. Now, of course, Deer still has his Blink Stalker force. That's a big army from QXC.
Loses 1 Stalker. Now,
And
QXC might just push. He might just go. He doesn't have 2 engineering bays right now. He's not going in upgrades.
Exactly. He wants to cross the map. He knows there's very little energy on the Mothership core.
Yes.
It's had to use several photon overcharges throughout the game. There's only Blink Stalkers. There's not going to be charged with all the gas investments in a Dark Shrine and whatnot. So the Marine tank force is excellent against Blink Stalkers.
Deer needs time. He needs time right now. An Immortal is on the way. He already has
Force
an Immortal
fields.
on the field. Force Field's going to be very huge here. Going to be backing up. Guardian Shield going down. The tanks not sieging up just yet. QXC confident, just keeping him on the ground, trying to press his way forward, trying to nudge his way on by. Now he's going to start leapfrogging those tanks. There's a scan, trying to identify exactly what his opponent has. Definitely a dire situation here for Deer.
Deer's got to find a way to defend this. Photon overcharge is not quite yet ready. Oh, there it goes, just enough. That's going to force QXC back. The unit count isn't high enough to really fight inside that photon overcharge. DT's coming out. That's going to force out another scan, but it goes down, and QXC is just trading scan for DT without a problem.
Marines taking some shots from the Photon Overcharge. More and more tanks coming forward. QXC with a brilliant position. The Marines going to back up. Force Field's trying to go down here from Deer. QXC trying to bust his opponent. Immortal coming forward, taking some shots at the tanks, taking down one of the Stalkers looking for it too. And QXC is out of Marines. What's here to protect the tanks?
Oh man, that one Immortal took almost every single tank shot, sacrificed himself for the team, and Deer takes this battle convincingly.
Wow, Deer cleaned that up very well. And again, QXC, in doing that push, he delayed a lot of stuff. Delayed his engineering bays, delayed his additional production as far as barracks are concerned. And now does Deer have a little bit of a timing here? A lot of Immortals on the field, only one bunker back here for QXC. Needs to siege that tank up right away, but Deer's on the offensive.
Deer's trying to collect his forces. 3 Stalkers blink past, but the rest of the Protoss isn't quite there to help them out yet.
Oh, you gotta repair the tank. The tank gets taken out there from QXC. Every unit is important here. Deer is up 84 to 73 in supply. Might try to break his opponent. What a twist in this game. So back and forth so far. And Deer is looking to make a bit of a push into his opponent's natural expansion, I'd expect.
The bio does have stim. There's no proxy pylon right where the battle takes place, and that's very important. The nearest one is, of course, on that left side location, so warped-in units take a little bit longer to rally in now, and as the medevac count increases, I think QXC is going to be more confident, but Deer's going to go in right now. There's an Archon in the mix as well.
This is such a strong composition. The bunker melting away in a matter of seconds. Time warp going down. QXC pulling in some SCVs, desperately trying to hold this off. Deer going to be kiting away, doesn't want to deal with those SCVs. Going to try to take some out, trying to wait for some more reinforcements. Has an Archon there as well. The Mothership core gets taken out. That's huge, but QXC needs more time. Stimming up once again. The medevac's desperately trying to heal those units, but Deer trying to make this work.
Oh, the 2 Widow Mines are coming in. Both those hit on the Archon, it'll pop it almost instantly. Only one doesn't go off.
Doesn't go off. Of course, it's still there, still alive, and Deer knows this. This might buy QXC enough time, but Deer taking a supply advantage. 92 to 72 income is 52 to 34 in favor of the Protoss player. So QXC definitely struggling in the Harvesters, pulling a lot of SCVs there to try to fend off that attack, and now QXC is definitely a bit behind in this game.
Deer also with 2 armor upgrades completed, a 3rd on the way. QXC only with a single attack upgrade on his bio. He's realizing he's behind in upgrades, he's behind in economy. He's going to have to make a much more cost-efficient army. He's identified his opponents transitioning to charge our Colossi, so he's adding the Hellbats, a great reaction. Of course, Deer knows this might be coming, so he's switching over to Colossi tech.
Such an intense game, such a high-level game played by both of these two players. Robo Bay being added on, Deer continuing with his upgrades, Charge about to finish. We have QXC adding on a 2nd engineering base. So this game can still go either way. It's all going to come down to these players identifying each other's tech paths and, of course, those massive engagements.
Deer is just non-stop producing units, continuing his tech path and his upgrades. His 3rd base, his moments from completion. QXC's 3rd command center hasn't even been started yet, so he's going to have to rely on some clever tactics to get himself back in this game. Now, that's something QXC has in spades, though. He loves drop harassment. Looks like this can go for a straight attack, though, and you know, if he can just 3rd base right before +3 armor completes and before the Protoss really gets too much area effect additions to his army, QXC has a lot of medevacs.
Oh, gonna take an Immortal off guard. Every single unit is so important. QXC able to take that guy out. He's coming forward, stimming, trying to target fire down those edges. The scan going down, trying to identify exactly what's happening. Gonna back up for now, but taking down a few units. A great pick off there from QXC.
He's trying to find a better angle where force fields can't be as strong. He's loading up some Hellbats into those medevacs. It looks, oh no, he's unloading them now. Looks like he's splitting off one medevac across the middle while his main force threatens the 3rd base. DT's warped in, take out instantly.
He's gonna back up. Gotta be so careful here in these choke points. Force fields can be the end of your day.
Man, every second that goes by, Deer's
like
mining more from that 3rd base.
Oh, there's Hellbats dropping in the natural expansion. Gonna jet on
so
into the main
fast,
base.
though. Instant reaction from Deer.
The cannon. All right. He's gonna back up. Oh, Stalker trying to be a hero. Hellbats versus Colossus, who wins? You'd be surprised, guys.
2-on-1 though, the Colossus has no problem taking those guys out. QXC's retreating.
Yeah.
And he's in a tough spot. I mean, he's realized he's not going to win with that engagement right there. His third command center is finished up. He's also trying to equalize the upgrades now, working on 2-1, whereas Deer starting his attack upgrades. And he's recognized his opponent is transitioning into Colossus, which is very important, as it gives him time to try to increase his Viking count that Deal does.
Oh, QXC in the middle of the map here. Got to be careful with this Colossus in play. You need that Viking count to help take down that Colossus before it melts away your bio army. QXC staying forward across the map again. He needs time, trying to get that third command center on the ground. Because Deer, he has 3 Nexi on the field. He's ahead in Harvesters, 58 to 38, and there's a DT there preventing that command center from landing.
Oh, how annoying is that? QXC wants, he's pulling SCVs because he wants to do the attack, which means he has nothing to help that third command center land.
Here he goes. This is so important. Engaging going to choke. QXC coming forward. Deer going to be backing up. Needs to have perfect force fields here. Needs to keep this army composition back. Decent force fields, cutting, splicing through that army, and Deer is going to be very happy with how that went. Adding on a second Colossus, and QXC is running out of options.
He really is. He has to find an angle to attack soon, but Deer has such a large army.
Oh, trying to get those Colossi, trying to target them down. One goes down. Can the second fall? The Vikings are here trying to take that guy out as well. QXC trying to send the SCVs forward as well, but all those are taking out the Stalkers, blinking to the side, trying to target down the Vikings. Can QXC make this work? So much bio, but I think Deer might have too much.
Wow, there's so many medevacs. There's not enough area effect for Deer. The pylons worked against the Zealots. Immortals and Stalkers, no chance against Stim Bio.
Deer needs more reinforcements. Here comes the Colossus from Deer, but more reinforcements coming from QXC. The medevac's doing a great job from above. Some Zealots being warped in as well. Such a close engagement. The supply is nearly equal. QXC has to make something happen here. Remember, he's down to 18 harvests. The Colossus stays alive, but the Nexus might be taken out.
Oh, Nexus is going down. Another DT warped in. Scan immediately. Is he going to pick that off? There's
Look at the Colossus. The Colossus is so low in health. Trying to step the Marauder. Going to get it? No! Another Marauder going. Yes! He gets the Colossus. QXC trying to make this happen. Going to back up with those Medivacs. He's happy to engage these Stalkers. Deer has to be careful. Another Colossus coming out on the field. Can the Bio target that guy down? Oh, he's trying. The Colossus kiting away. QXC trying to make this happen. The Colossus. Oh, will it fall? Yes, it will.
QXC takes down all the key units of Deer. He may have to retreat for now. So few units left, but all the Medivacs are alive. All those important units are alive, whereas Deer has got to start from scratch.
How on earth? How on earth is QXC making this happen?
Remember, he only has 18 SCVs. He pulled almost every single one of his SCVs during that attack, but he does have the mules.
Took down his opponent's third base, taking out every
the Archon being focused before it can complete.
Every single unit is so important here for Deer. There's another scan from QXC, happy to take down that TT. Stalker blinking away, Zealot running out of there for his life. The Medivacs are still alive. That's so important. That represents so much of the healing power for this Bio army. Going to target down the Dark Shrine. That's a huge pickoff for QXC.
Absolutely essential there. He can't afford to keep using scans. He only has 18 Harvesters. He needs to use those mules. One last DT. Take down. There's no scan. He has to pick up and get out of there.
Yep.
But he's got to be happy with the damage he's done. I mean,
absolutely.
Yes, he has almost no SCVs, but on only single mining base, there's no way Deer can actually have the economy that QXC has as long as he has a chance to deploy those mules.
And Deer is having to rebuild so many of his expensive units, something QXC doesn't have to do because he already has all those Medivacs and he kept them alive throughout all of those engagements. Coming forward is opponent's natural expansion. Where's the militia port? I don't see it just yet. I'm not even sure if he has one. The Bio going to try to kite away some force fields going down here from Deer, but QXC has so much Bio and so many Medivacs overhead trying to push forward for the victory. He's up 70 to 53 in supply, continuing to kite away. Deer desperately trying to hold on, but he's running out of steam.
Wow, great micro by QXC. Zealot's barely getting off a single attack there. He has almost double the supply. Deer taking out a DT in the middle of the map. I think that was the last of the Dark Templar. Now it's just these basic units.
This might be it. QXC charging forward into his opponent's natural expansion. A Sentry gone, Zealot gone, Stalker gone. Nothing left. GG QXC takes game number 1.
Wow, what a look of intensity on QXC's face there. A little bit of a grin. He knows that was a very hard-fought match.
I can't even, I'm trying to, what an amazing game. The question is, can QXC keep it up?
I mean, he's drawn blood. Deer has looked unpenetrable so far. He hasn't dropped a single map until just now. QXC's shown there's weakness in this guy. all of this attack right here. Now, these two pylons, I think, were very big because the Zealots couldn't get past the pylons.
Yeah.
QXC used his opponent's buildings against him right here. All the Zealots got jammed up. The Immortals were trying to get in there, and they were blocking the Zealots. And without the Zealots in there, there's no damage output. There's only 2 Colossi. That's not enough for that many medevacs. The Stalkers and Immortals only hit units 1 at a time. Just not enough damage output, and QXC's army just didn't fall.
Taking down Colossi time and time again. The Colossus were down to like 2 HP, 1 HP, 5 HP. QXC continuing to target those down with Hero Marauders. He's going to take the Game 1 victory. He's 1 win away from advancing to the next round of the 2013 MLG Spring Championship.